Hello there. How was your week? I hope you had some nice weather. Here it was really gorgeous. Today we're building a cottage, and I made this cottage for Kinda Anime's challenge on Instagram. The hashtag for this challenge was Kinda Anime 200 for celebrating her 200 followers. And actually, this is not completely the challenge build because one of the rules for this challenge was to build by a 30 by 20 lot, and I completely didn't see this rule, and I started building on a 20 by 20 lot. And after I finished this build and took some screenshots and everything, I read the rules again and realized my mistakes. So off camera, I placed it on a bigger lot and added some things to it. But if you're interested in seeing this, then I suggest you going to my Instagram or on the gallery. You can see the bigger build, the challenge build. My gallery ID is marygrave, but I didn't change a lot between the 20 by 20 lot and the 30 by 20 lot. And the second rule was actually to build an exterior with only 3 packs. And for this build, I decided to use the Cottage Living expansion pack, the Get Together expansion pack, and the Romantic Garden Stuff pack, which was a bold move, I guess, to use a stuff pack for one of the packs, but I love the items in the garden stuff pack so much and the flowers, and I think they give such a romantic, obviously romantic vibe to builds, and it also feels very cottagey and dreamy, and that's what I wanted to do with this build. So because it was an exterior challenge, I wanted to give the house an interesting shape, and it came together pretty quickly, actually. I have looked a lot on sources on Pinterest about cottages and fairy tale cottages, and I took one picture mainly as inspiration. I had some trouble making the back of the house interesting, but after some time I figured it out how I wanted it to be, and I'm pretty glad how it turned out. It was also difficult to me to decide if I want to build this house in light colors or darker colors. In the end, I decided for darker colors because it has more of a forest vibe to it and a little bit darker. And I don't think that the pastel and the light colors look too good. I did cut this part out where I tested different kind of wallpapers, so you don't see it. But I'm very happy with how it turned out. And so I will tell you now what's the difference between the two builds. And the difference is that I had to put it on a bit bigger lot, and I rearranged a bit of the garden. I put a barn into it in the challenge build, and there are some uh, overgrown crops. Oh god, not corpses, crops. I mean, and they're beside the garden in the smaller build, but they are on the left side of the pond in the bigger one. And I like both versions. Like I said, it didn't change much, and both builds are in my gallery. But I think for gameplay, I prefer the smaller one because after playing with the Cottage Living pack for a while, I think that playing with the big animals gets boring after a while, and so your sim has a duty less on the smaller lot, which maybe you would prefer. So this particular house I built on a 20 by 20 lot in Windenburg, and it has one bedroom, one bathroom, and it costs something over 36,000 simoleons. So it's obviously not a beginner uh, house, but you know, I have to spend a lot of money to win the challenge, right? Make it look interesting. And I went wild with the gardening because, it fitted the vibes, and I was in the mood for a splendid garden with a lot of flowers. Your sim can go fishing here and do garden stuff, take care of the big crops. This time it was correct. And because I'm seeing it, and I think I'm getting better in landscaping, and it's uh, getting more interesting than my first builds. Also it depends on this kind of builds, what kind of landscaping you can do. If you want to put more plants on it or less, but it comes more easily to me to make this overgrown look in my builds now after some practicing. I hope you think so too. I've built this house some while ago actually, and I didn't have the time to post it until now, and do a voiceover and everything. And of course I had to redo this house a bit, so it comes now. And I don't know how I edited this video, and I don't have much more to say about the landscaping, except that it's cute. I think it's cute. So let's talk about some news. Next week on Sunday, my next video will be released, and that's because I'm participating in a collab, and we'll post our builds between the 3rd and the 10th of April. And I'm very excited to show it to you because it's also a build that will lead to a newer, bigger thing I'm planning to do. And it was I built on this build a long time, and I'm pretty anxious of what you think about this build, and I hope you will like it. I'm also very excited to share the news with you. Uh, you know, I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to take the surprise away from what is coming next week on this channel. So I think I will stop here, but I will say one more thing. It has to do with something with a big interest of mine, and it does not have anything to do with art history. So don't be scared. There's no tiny history build in next time coming up. But I'm actually planning on tiny history for the next tiny history builds, and I don't think there will be much more coming now. I want to build a mid-century house, a craftsman house, and maybe a Bauhaus house. And I think that will be the last 3 videos for my tiny history, um, because there are obviously many more different architectural styles for living, but it's hard to find interesting stuff to talk about with some of the styles, and I think that mid-century and craftsman and Bauhaus will be the most interesting of the ones I have planned. But this doesn't mean that I don't want to do anything art related on my channel anymore. I have some couple of ideas. I have to plan them out and see how well they will work out. And, you know, subscribe to my channel and you will stay up to date on my shenanigans. Other big news is that I did my first live stream on YouTube, and I did it on Thursday about the Decor to the Max kit. And I was so excited and so nervous about it. But luckily, some people joined the stream and talked with me while I was building, and you can watch the video if you missed it. I'm decorating a room with a new kit, and you know, telling you what I'm thinking about the kids, like it matters. Um, but spoiler alert, I like the kit. Um, I'm a maximalist fan, and funnily enough, I posted an apartment. I don't know, I think 5 or 6 weeks ago. Uh, an apartment for a maximalist, and it was clicked quite a few times. And in this last week, after the kit was announced, and I think the people were very disappointed about it because it has nothing to do with the kit. But I didn't know that the kit was coming. Maybe I will redo the living room of this apartment with a new kit when I have some time left. I have some different builds in mind for the next few weeks, which I would like to do, but maybe if creativity leaves me, then I will redecorate the living room of this apartment. So let's come back to the build, and in this little spot I wanted to place a bookcase, but I couldn't find a matching one, and so I wanted to do one myself, and I have to say this was such a pain to do this little corner of this house. I wanted to quit, and I wanted to put a wall in front of it because I was so annoyed by it. It was also super hard for me to find the right curtain for the living room, but in the end I found one because I think the spot would looked quite weird without a curtain. The interior wasn't part of the challenge, but I decorated it anyway. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me, do you prefer to download houses from the gallery which are already furnished or not? Tell me in the comments, please, down below, because I never download houses. Actually, I only download bars and such stuff. And even though it wasn't part of the challenge, I decided to decorate it with only the 3 packs. And that's because I think many people don't have all the packs, and it's better for them to, or nicer to find some builds with restricted um, packs. And it wasn't that hard to decorate this little house with only 3 packs, or better said, for the inside, I used the base game, Cottage Living and Get Together. Obviously, not the Romantic Garden stuff pack. So, it wasn't hard to do so because the 2 packs come with everything needed for decorating a house. And I think the objects fit also very nicely together. And the bedroom is a bit small, but I really like how it turned out. I I think that small bedrooms fits cottage builds very well. Like the original cottages often have only small bedrooms. Like obviously with this setup, you can only the, the 2 Sims can sleep in this bed, but it's difficult, so you have to look that the one scoots over. And oh yeah, exactly. What I wanted to say is that I like the house because I think it's very easy to make bigger and to put a staircase to the next level. And I found often when I build for my own gameplay, I start with no money and I start building, and you know once the first floor is ready or kind of ready. I found out that I don't know where to put the staircases and I have to redo the whole house. And this time this is not the case. I think you can easily manage to make this house bigger once you decide to have a family living in here. And that's something I really like. So this little area, outside area, obviously belongs to the exterior, and Kinda Anime said it was okay to use base game stuff in the exterior as well, and it doesn't count like one pack, so I used um, this love seat from the base game. It's more Western style, but I figured out that it works here anyway. So slowly but surely we're coming to the end of this video. I just do cluttering up this space a bit more. So it's the right time to say goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This would make me really happy. And you can follow me on Instagram and on Pinterest. I put the links down below in the description box. And I tried at least to publish a new video every week, and I'm actually thinking about live streaming now after I tried it once. So stay tuned. I would be happy to see you again. Bye bye.